Tony D and little Joan cooped up for 3 straight days in South Jersey thanks to snow and various other events. Smash like and subscribe. This is a screenwriter's rant on the Outlaw Posse, an action western starring Mario Van Peebles, who I haven't seen in ages. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Look at him. He looks good. Black does not crack. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Thanks for checking out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Mario Van Peebles' son is in it as the protagonist, who has to find his dad to save his wife and uncover Confederate gold. I mean, they got all the elements in here. So it looks like a fun Western. It's not meant to be an accurate Western, so I can forgive a lot of it. And, they don't treat the black characters like they're just other people in the West, because they wouldn't have been. They probably would have been slightly unusual in certain circumstances. So, this doesn't appear to be woke. It just appears that there are black characters in a Western. So that's good. I like that. They seem to treat the characters, it's realistic in that they try to do a realistic portrayal in the spirit of the Wild West. While at the same time, it's an action movie where a lot of crazy stuff happens. So it's not realistic. And you got the director of New Jack City on this. I like him. And Posse. I vaguely remember Posse. Is this a sequel to Posse? Posse? I don't really get this line. Comes the story of how the West became one. What is that? I don't really get that. But apparently they end up teaming up with Butch and Sundance on a job, which it sounds kind of crazy. I like that. I like tying in real historical Wild West figures in it. And then you could say, well, nobody knew about it because these guys were black and they were cut out of the history or whatever. That makes sense. You could see that. This guy reminds me of Russell Crowe. But there's like a million people in this damn thing. Let me just play you the credit sequence at the end. Mario Van Peebles, William Mather, John Carroll Lynch, DC Young Fly, Mandela Van Peebles, Neil McDonough, Jake Manley, Alan Payne, Cam Gibbs, Emmett Walsh, Cedric the Entertainer, Whoopi Goldberg. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. Where's John Malkovich when you need him? So it's called Outlaw Posse. Kind of not in love with the name. Seems a little too generic for a Western, but if this is a sequel or tie-in to Posse, maybe that could work. Even Whoopi Goldberg's character seems to be pretty cool. She runs a stagecoach. She's not like a gunfighter, which would be totally unrealistic, I think. Writer, producer, and directed by Mario Van Peebles. Wow, he is really doing all the heavy lifting in this movie. Starring, writing, directing, producing. Haven't seen him in ages, so it's good to see him. I think he looks good for this. Even Whoopi Goldberg as a grizzled old stagecoach driver, that can work. I mean, she's getting up there. She is not in good health, I don't think. She fell down on The View, I think, once. And I've heard that she has to use a walker, so that she is made to look good in this movie. I mean, Cedric the Entertainer, he's kind of playing like a clownish character, so I think that works. I don't know who this woman is, but she's cute. So it seems like a fun time. It seems like a classic Western setup. It's got a lot of elements in here. Maybe slightly too many, but because of the lighter nature of it, I can forgive it. Because I think you're going to have a good time. Emmett Walsh, I mean, come on, this guy, he was made for Westerns. He's been in like a million Westerns. He's the new Gabby Hayes, if you remember him. So there's lots of gunplay. So I think this could be good. So first act, I guess they come out to Van Peebles' son's farm and give him tell him like, well, I guess he's looking for his wife, but he's not, or he's given up. And they say if you come with us and help us find our gold, your dad, you'll find your wife, and that'll solve all your problems. Of course, it's more complicated than that. I don't know if the guy that initially hires him turns on him. There might be a double cross in there. I'm not sure, but he decides, okay, I'll go. Eventually, he catches up with his dad, and then I think he teams up with him. Initially looking to betray him to get his wife back, but maybe there's extenuating circumstances. I don't know. Did Mario Van Peebles steal his son's wife? That would be weird. I don't think so, but possibly. But they seem to team up, and then it's just like a free-for-all as they're trying to get the gold and robbing banks and all the Western stuff, gunplay and everything. And then all coming to a head in the third act where the bad guy dies, whoever that is. I suspect it's the initial guy who hires him. Possibly one or two other characters. Let's read the write-up. 1908, Chief Mario Van Peebles returns from years of hiding in Mexico to claim stolen reparations gold hidden in the hills of Montana, but is chased by Angel William Mapother, whose rationale to the gold leaves a trail of dead bodies. Okay, so this is reparations gold. Never heard of reparations gold, but maybe that's something in history I didn't know. I like the time period 1908 because it's kind of like very late Wild West, which is interesting. It's an interesting time. I wrote a screenplay that took place around that time. You'd have all the Wild West stuff still, but you see the encroachment of technology, and people are kind of tuned out by this time to go into the Wild West. It starts to change, and we start to get into the modern era. So that could be interesting too. And just in general, I like Mario Van Peebles. He's usually tries to deliver something entertaining. The only thing is that weird line, how the West became one, O-N-E. Not quite sure what that means. That might be, I'm worried that might be some kind of social justice message that gets slipped in there, but who knows? Who knows? Other than that, it looks fun. Looks fine. I would check it out. Will it be in theaters is the question. Doesn't really say. I would guess at the very least you're going to get some kind of limited to release. I mean, this should be on the big screen because you've got vistas. It's a Western. It's epic. Even a lower budget Western, if you've got those vistas, it should be seen on the big screen. So I gotta imagine it's going to get at least a limited release. So, worst case scenario, you catch it on streaming, and I think it could probably be decent. Yeah. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more bass takes. If you can find a more bass take, I say take it. The event today, that was originally today at Valenzano Wineries, is postponed till next week due to the snow. We've got at least a half a foot out there. I just went out to shovel some, and it's still friggin' snowing. So we are batting down the hatches. I am still planning on going to the Tom's River show on Sunday. That's from 10 to 4. Hopefully the roads will be clear by then. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. I think the forecast is a lot better for the next 2 days, so I think it'll be all over. And usually people have an overreaction to snow. So check us out then. We'll see you in the next one.